Hello, everyone. My name is Karen McGregor. Welcome to my series In the Margins, where I break down what I'm reading and relate it to what I'm working on. Today, I want to offer a quick In the Margins bonus episode to answer a question I get all the time. How do you decide what to read? So, the short answer is I don't pick books randomly, and I really don't read everything that comes across my feed. For the most part, I use a simple filter. I pay attention to what thoughtful leaders and practitioners are reading, and over time, I've noticed that those recommendations tend to fall into a few consistent categories. I want to point out that right now I'm kind of in the middle of a positive psychology kick. And so that's how I landed on How to Change as the first book that I'm diving into in this In the Margins series. But if you zoom out a bit, you'll see that that book still fits within the larger pattern of what I found. After serving as a guest on the Ascend podcast and listening regularly to Ascend and Weekly Wisdom, where presidents, provosts, and senior leaders are often asked to recommend a book, I started keeping a list of every title mentioned. Once I stepped back and looked at that list, nearly 100 books from about 50 experts, a clear framework emerged. Almost every recommendation fell into one of three categories. First one, higher education and student success. Second, equity and inclusion. And third would be a leadership type book. So, for the category equity and inclusion, one book stood out again and again, Whistling Vivaldi. It helps explain how identity, belonging, and stereotype threat shape performance, making it foundational reading for people working with students or leading others. For leadership, I'd point to Unreasonable Hospitality. It's the book that I recommended, and it's not about higher education. It's really about culture, how excellence is built intentionally and practiced consistently, even in constrained environments. For higher education systems, I'd like to highlight The College Devaluation Crisis, recommended by Carolina Ricci. It offers a clear-eyed look at how the value of college is being questioned and what institutional leaders need to do to understand outcomes, trust, and relevance. What connects all of these is that they aren't quick how-to guides. They're really framework books. They change how you think, not just what you do next. So I have one final observation. When I separate out the recommendations from presidents and chancellors, their reading lists shifted slightly. I found this fascinating. They were still reading across these three areas, but they were also more likely to recommend fiction, poetry, biography, or memoir. And that makes sense. At that level of leadership, work is less about implementation and more about meaning, perspective, and long term stewardship. Going forward, I will be diving into these types of books in future In the Margins episodes. Some through a higher ed lens, sometimes equity, and sometimes leadership, and sometimes right now through positive psychology. As always, I've linked the sources I've named down below if you want to check them out. And if you're listening, I'd love to hear from you. Drop your most recent professional development read in the comments and tell us which category it fits into or if it doesn't neatly fit at all. And finally, that's my margin note. If you are a new viewer, please like and subscribe for more content. And I hope you have a great day.